Hello, and welcome, my Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this full moon to new moon next in October 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hi. Hi, my crab cakes and cross watchers for crab cakes. How y'all doing today? My pleasure to be reading for you. My subscribers, thank you so much. Thank you. Getting there, learning more and more about this whole YouTube journey and how people are getting there, and there are ways people are getting there that don't feel right to me, so I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, giving you the very best and the very blessed work that I can give. And if it's slow and steady wins the race to 30,000 subscribers so that I can put my extended readings here instead on Vimeo, then that's just fine, whatever it takes. But I thank you for your love and support helping me get this far. And if you're new to my channel, please do consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, commenting below, and hitting the notification bell. Apparently that helps other people see it. So there you have it. So shall we get down to business? This is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Really, it's a 7-card draw. It's just giving you clues, tips, and hints about a very specific period of time for the full moon in Aries, which is, well, tomorrow for me. I'm doing this on Wednesday, September 30th, so tomorrow is October 1st, 2020. Rabbit, in advance, if you could get away with that. To the new moon in Libra on Friday the 16th. Now I will say a new moon in Libra on a Friday is definitely that love magic kind of vibe, at least the way I learn and teach it. So, you know, this might be an interesting cleaning out season, house cleaning for, I should say home cleaning for 4th house vibers like Cancerians. So we're going to look at 7 different decks. I've got, let's see, 3 healing systems, 2 tarot systems, and 2 oracles, right? Do the math, that's 7. Just to show you what you need this new moon to full moon to new moon next. Bear with me. It takes me a couple of readings, more than 3 apparently, to get that syntax in my mouth. A little hard to wrap my mouth around. You know, I have no gag reflex. Wasn't born that way. Anyway, that being said, shall we get down to it? I need you to focus on your breath, stay in the present moment, so you can feel what resonates, what doesn't. I will do the same to bring you through the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can to help my Cancerians. You know, I'm the son of a Cancerian mother, so I mean, I doubt she'll ever watch these. That's not our relationship. That's fine. But I love her so very, very much. So in a way, my love for my Cancerians is born from a nice place. Thank you, whoever gave me that word. Shall we take a nice deep breath? Thank you. All the decks that I read are in the description box below. There's some cool links down there as well if you want to check out some of my other work. Otherwise, let's do this. Breathe. There we are. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, I need a Caroline Mace archetype deck to show us the dominant archetype, the dominant soul power being alchemized from lead to gold, shadow to light, toxic to healthy, in this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. If not them directly, then maybe a dominant archetype they're dealing with in their world or with a particular person. So that they need to deal with, right? There's alchemy that needs to be done here, healing that needs to be done here. So since this is the first of our healing systems, what is that dominant archetype for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign this new full moon? They draw it in the air for me. Full moon in Aries to new moon in Libra, October 2020. And we've got the student archetype. Good. I mean, look, all archetypes are neutral, right? And just as brilliant as the light is as toxic as the dark is, because they got the shadow and the light attribute here. So take this in and see if this is you, or maybe somebody that you are dealing with. And really, sometimes whoever it is that pops immediately to mind without having to search for it is the other person you're dealing with. The shadow attribute, arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge. Yeah, I know what that's like. That feeling. I'm not really, you know, that's the funny thing. I'm a brilliant teacher, but a horrible student. I'm an autodidact. I'm self-taught. So it's like, I really do actually know. how to hex and curse people like whatever I have laying around. It's like, got a Q-tip? No problem, right? That's destructive knowledge, although, you know, in the grand scheme of things, how many blessings have turned into curses and curses turned into blessings, right? So yeah, it's all part of the quantum unity. Unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. Now, I'm sure everybody knows somebody like that, and everybody's had moments of doing that, right? Reason, season, or lifetime in terms of an archetype. So keep your eye on that shadow, whether it's you or someone else. I know for myself, once I learn something, I'm pretty much implementing it gradually. I'm a Virgo, right? The light attribute, humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. And that I can say, if I do have the student archetype, then that is lifelong learning. You know, I have this millennial working on one of my books to get it ready for Amazon. I know, I'm going to be on Kindle. Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. And the grace of humility is the first grace. Oh, I call the maiden grace. Oh, the great maiden goddess, grant me the grace of humility to know that I do not know, but I'm willing to be shown, right? That commitment that I have to lifelong learning, right? But to then incarnate it, right? To then put it into action is a big, big, big part of that. Otherwise, it's just fucking words, right? As I've been saying, wisdom is not knowledge, right? I can watch Food Network all day long, watching all about, you know, creme brulee, how all the different ones do it. But until I put blowtorch to sugar, it's just knowledge, it's not wisdom. And you really don't want me to have a blowtorch, do you? You really don't. That's not good for anybody. I'm a water witch. I'm a potion witch. Take a nice deep breath. The Ascended Masters, can we please get them a healing mantra from the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck for this second healing system, by the way, of the second of the three, for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. I feel you. My Ascended Masters is like, your energy changed. Yeah, woke up feeling hungover, but I didn't drink. Empathic drain. So please, my Ascended Masters, what is the perfect healing mantra to help them heal this student archetype within themselves, within somebody else, within a situation, for this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, October 2020, please. For my Cancerians, their healing mantra is unraveling codependency. Praise God. This is like the best one in the deck as far as I'm concerned. Wouldn't call it my favorite. Inviting ecstasy is my favorite. But unraveling codependency, only I have to feel good about my choices. Now, I know that sounds like, well, if only you have to feel good about your choices, what's stopping you from burning the house down? Because you're not feeling good when you do that. No one's like, I'm feeling great, let's burn down the house. let's torch this relationship, right? Let's just destroy each other verbally and psychologically. No. Only I have to feel good about my choices. He puts it really well in the book. But how many people are like holding back on making their dreams come true because they're afraid of hurting other people? It's your dream. You came in to do it. If they can't cope, there's a process. It's not a problem, it's a process. Unraveling codependency. Only I have to feel good about my choices. Thank you very much. I added the thank you very much. When codependency unravels, you are able to move freely in the direction of your heart's desire without needing permission from others. That is my life. Like, I really don't need permission from anybody to kind of do what I want to do, but it's all part of the divine path, though, like the heart-centered healing thing, right? As codependency fades, you are able to honor the emotional reactions of others as crucial stages of their healing journey without taking responsibility for them. And I think that's the big part. You made me feel. When you do that, you made me feel. No. No. When you did that, I felt. Start there. If somebody comes at you with, if you do that, that's going to break me. Like, well, happy breaking, because I have to follow my heart's desire, manifest. You know, your heart's desires are your part of the divine plan. Why do you think they're written in your heart? It's the last place you look, right? You try everything else, you finally get back to, this is really what my soul wants me to do, right? Like, it's like movie stuff, but it's in our own lives, right? It's like this huge saga we go through to just get back to the core of who we are, and to not be dependent upon what other people think or feel or do in order for you to follow what you came into this life to do, to be authentic, right? This mantra is ideal for healing family dynamics, because we had to learn it from somewhere, cultivating emotional freedom, and reclaiming personal power. Now look, as a gay man, and if you couldn't tell I'm a gay man, honey, you better get on Amazon and get some new batteries for your gaydar. Of course I made people uncomfortable growing up. Little mystic gay Mark, right? And so what I would do, I could feel it in them. I would tone myself down. I would hide until, I don't know, I got contact lenses at age 13, and then poof, Mal was born. So it didn't last long. But still, even in relationships, we're romantic relationships, that we compromise ourselves because we want them to like us. So let me not change, right? It's be the truth of who you are. And particularly with the student, then, this could very much be about, I'm going to study when I'm going to study. Shall we? Well, that was just lovely, darling. Let's move into a tarot, right? I said 2 tarot decks. We're doing Daughters of the Moon Tarot, for which you need to be aware of inside of yourself. So keep in mind, this is the archetype you need to alchemize. This is the mantra you need to work with, the healing mantra. This is what you need to be aware of inside. This is what you need to be aware of outside, the yin and the yang, the feminine, the masculine, the goddess, the god. You get the deal. Breathe. Yes. Good morning, my goddesses. We've been in communication on and off all day long. Let's see, my goddesses, please, my collective divine feminines, Hestia, Hera, and Hecate together as one, please. The Virgin, the Queen, the Crone. I need one card in clarity for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. This full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, and new moon on a Friday in Libra. I see that. There's some big balancing love-romance stuff coming up, ain't it? For a lot of people. But I think particularly for the Cancerians, please, what do they need to be aware of inside of themselves this full moon to new moon next? October 2020. Here's the deal, my folks. You got the 8 of Flames in this deck called Burnout, which, yes, you can go for the usual meaning. It's like, are you feeling burned out? Let's start there. Am I feeling burned out? Now, to me, burnout is part physiological, part emotional, part mental, and part energetic. Like, sometimes you're just integrating, right? The flames have already raged through your life, your nervous system, your what have you, and needs time to rest, right? To integrate all of that change. But if you also know the tarot, you know that this is 8 of Wands. Fast communication, fast passion, something driven like a wildfire, right? So, we've seen a lot of fires this year, symbolic and literal, in the United States and on planet Earth, but particularly the fires out west have been the worst ones I think we've ever had right? So it's symbolic of change, transformation, but inside of yourself. So you could take this as with this unraveling codependency, that there is a dream inside of you, there is a passion inside of you, there is something that wants to communicate itself, right? Those wands flying through the air, but there is probably a learning process here, right? I mean, there's always a learning process, but to come at it through the archetypal lens of the student, it's a good way, because then you can cut yourself all sorts of slack. You can say, all right, it's a learning curve, I'm learning. You're allowed to make mistakes. They're not really mistakes. You see, even the word sin means mistake. It's an archery term, right? The Course in Miracles says the child of God cannot sin in a dream, and that's this holographic world, the illusion of separation, blah, 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 all of that. But I think we could really take that from a much simpler place of saying everybody's in a learning curve from a soul point of view, right? The soul comes in and incarnates and plays these lives and these roles that are all scripted. Every last breath is scripted, but infinite variety as the quantum would be, right? So people are like, well, then there's no free will. It's like, well, is there free will in a video game? Yes, there is, right? Is there free will in what you want to watch? Absolutely, but it's all programmed, right? It's a decent metaphor. So this internal passion and fire I'm getting for you Cancerians, it's like, there's stuff bubbling underneath the surface. Let's see if it's what's going on the surface, I guess you would say, with the gods, with the yang energy. Breathe. Yeah. my gods of fire. My gods of water. Just so much fire in that card. Like you saw, I got a little like a little passionate there. Please, my gods of water, for the element of Cancer, please, I need one card in clarity for them. This full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, October 2020, please. We've got the student archetype. We've got unraveling codependence. We've got the Eight of Flames, the Eight of Wands on the inner in the yin, really moving. What's going on in the outside here for them? This full moon to new moon next, my God. Queen of Cups. The Scorpio card's even a non. Right? You are keeping that shit silent. Right? It's like, oh, inside I'm just totally different. Right? I mean, really, water to fire. Almost giving the exact opposite thing. Now, having been raised by a Cancerian mother, I will tell you that was the case. I mean, I love her dearly. But you know, it was the 80s. I was hell on earth to raise. Are you kidding me? Nothing I couldn't find that they tried to hide. Little intuitive Mark, you can imagine, right? And always getting away with shit they never even knew about. So, you know, my mom is very much that Cancerian mother, the mother of the zodiac, very intuitive, and yet behind shell and claws, right? Because you have to protect that sensitivity somehow, right? So you're not letting on. Now, look, from the outside, I guess you could also say, yes, this is a Cancerian person in the outside world. Maybe it's part of the student archetype, or maybe this is somebody who's teaching you how to deal with these emotions within you. Now, how does someone teach you that? Usually by example. Right? People can tell you as much as they want about psychology and emotional healing until you actually do the work. There's nothing, it's so funny. If you're an empath on top of it, play with this in your head they're giving to me. Nothing feels more personal than what you're feeling emotionally. And yet nothing can be more impersonal than if you are empathic and feeling what other people are feeling as well, right? So where's the dividing line in there? And so whatever this passion is, we'll see what else hits the table. But you might want to find a way of expressing it that might not be public, right? It's the Scorpio card, the Queen of Cups, fixed water. Let it gestate, that's fine. But if that pressure builds, because it's passion, see, passion denied turns into rage. Just my experience, right? So find a way to channel that. And of course, with the student, like maybe you are learning, right? Humility, you need humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Well, is this something as a Cancerian that has been a lifelong, maybe not challenge, but a lifelong lesson. Lessons and challenges are not always the same thing. So what we're going to do, right, we are going to use our third healing system, the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. I only took out the card of the problem, the suit of the problem. The other three suits are back in the box. That's luck, healing, and grace, because the guides are like, they need to be aware of what the problem is, right? Because if you're a student, and what do they give you? It's so funny. In school, like in math, they give you math problems to solve, right? And they're answers, right? There are solutions to those problems, but it's about figuring it out. So that's how I kind of get, like, if you can think of what you're going through for this waning moon, about letting go, about releasing, right? Maybe there's some emotional release you can learn about here to prepare you for that new moon in Libra. It seems like a good idea, right? Dumping emotional baggage, but transforming it. Then see it as like a math problem. It's like, all right, I just got to solve this. It's okay. You're not stupid. But there is this element of codependency here, so others might not like it. Let's keep going, shall we? Take a nice deep breath. From the Ascended Masters again, who gave us this card of unraveling codependency. If you would like to clarify that or any part of this or add something new to the mix, please. My Ascended Masters, one card in clarity. What is the problem for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra? I get it. There is a square between the Aries and the Cancer. I got that. What's going on then? What is the problem here? October 2020. Manipulation. I'm just going to look over here while you take that in. Manipulation. Yeah, someone's pulling strings here. Are you pulling someone else's strings or someone else pulling your strings? I don't know. That seems like a covert manipulation of codependency, right? That disapproving look when you pick up that book on psychology or healing. You know that look. I'm just like, yeah. I was hell on wheels growing up. That's why I'm an angel now. Just my process of rising took a little longer, so they started me early. That's kind of amazing, and I get why you're keeping your passions to yourself if you feel like there are people manipulating you. Now, the truth is once you know somebody's manipulating you, then at least you can like play the game a little bit wiser, right? You know, if you know someone's a manipulator, you're like, okay, I've got your scent in my nose now. I get it. Don't say that to them. Play the game. It's like, try. It's like when someone's an energy drainer and you go in silently chanting them with like runes of the sun. It's like, go ahead, vampire, try. Hi, blessed be, right to your dark little heart. Right? So if you know you're being manipulated, take that into consideration. I get why you might be playing your cards close to your chest. My point of that would be is continue doing whatever study you're doing to take that passion and give it expression sometime. I mean, even if it's just, you know, just journaling. People have healed so much just journaling, right? So let's find out what the voice of your higher self says about all of this. Please take a nice deep breath. Now we do our oracles. We've got the Whispers of Love Oracle from Blue Angel Publishing, who are just amazing. And the Ascended Masters. Please connect us, there we go, to the higher selves of all involved. Different vibe entirely. Please, the Ascended, the higher selves of all involved. There's a lot of crossover there. Please, one card in clarity for this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. For this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra. What do they need? What is the piece of information, inspiration, or insight they need this full moon to new moon next, considering they got the Student, unraveling codependency, passion on the inner, Eight of Flames on the inner, Queen of Cups, Scorpio on the outer. Maybe that's the person who's doing some of the manipulating here that we see in the card of manipulation. And right, these are general reads. For some that's going to be, for some it isn't. What do you say they need this full moon to new moon next October 2020? Focus on love. Look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life, and I would include yourself as well. Take that as part of this student journey that you are on. Now, I'm going to just take this a little bit in a different direction because they are directing me that way. I really enjoyed Matt Kahn's last book. I talk a lot about Matt Kahn. We used his healing mantra, right? The unraveling codependency. And hardships can be fast-tracked through thankfulness. Is the right? The universe always has a plan is the name of the book. I think it's the third golden rule of letting go of the 10 that are in the book. So in that, start with, all right, thank you for this gift of this person manipulating me. You don't have to feel it like, yay, gratitude, but there's something about using that as a mantra, right? Because the thank you anchors subconsciously, at least, the gratitude, the thankfulness in the present moment. But then calling it a gift, the universe is sort of honor bound to show you the gift in that, right? I've been using it. It's like this, it's like a homeopathic. You just don't say it once, right? You have to take like one dose of it every hour or whatever. It's the power of repetition, but it doesn't have to be solid chanting for hours and hours and hours either. Thank you for this gift, right? Might open you up to focus on love. Look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life. And sometimes the good attribute that somebody is wow, it's really good. They are so manipulative, it's obvious. They are pressing my buttons so clearly, and this is about my mother or my father or my this or my that or this, bringing this up for me. But remember, they're trying to manipulate. And if you're the one doing the manipulation, then you gotta learn this. Here's a student thing. We only manipulate when we feel out of control. But the opposite of control is chaos, but chaos is divine order. I know. My whole life, I've been trying to live this way, right? Let go, let God, go with the flow, be in the present moment. It's like, where's my stuff, right? We always get everything we need, but what we want, maybe not so much. This is a lesson for you to look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life. And do keep in mind, sometimes that's in the rearview mirror. Sometimes it's like, they really, really taught me that only I have to feel good about my choices, right? Yeah. Just because of that card of manipulation there and that Scorpio card, it might be subtle too. Like if this Queen of Cups isn't you necessarily, right? The Scorpio card isn't you, then it really could be somebody who's being really subtle about it, but passive aggressive and codependent. Subtle still is toxic. Right, an odorless gas that kills is still deadly. So we have got really one card left, and we saved this one for last. What is the angel that you can call upon to help you with this, right? So really, when I pop up the picture at the end, I want you to remember that you have help with this, right? Everything else is sort of pointing at things. You definitely have a healing mantra. So what is the healing angel to help you with that healing mantra, to help you with the alchemy of the student, right? Let's just do it in a prayer. Take a nice deep breath. Healing with the Angel's Oracle, Doreen Virtue. Oh, my beloved angels and archangels, please, one card in clarity. For this Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, this full moon in Aries to new moon next in Libra, October 2020, please. What do they need? Who is the healing angel? You can send it around again. You gave me the rules. Don't take kickers unless it's specifically instructed. So what is the healing angels that they can call upon this full moon to new moon next to help them learn, right? The student archetype, alchemizing the shadow to light, the unraveling codependency, this passion, this fire, this whatever, 8 of Wands flying through their internal world and the external world of having to maybe be coy themselves or dealing with somebody who's silently manipulative or not overtly, more covert manipulation, covert narcissism perhaps, so that they can focus on love and kind of break these threads of manipulation. What is the healing angel they can call upon? That was 2. One card, please. This is the one. This, full moon to new moon next, spiritual growth. If this is what this is, if this passion for you is spiritual growth, call to the angel of spiritual growth. Because what I've learned to do, I've been working with this deck of cards, this Healing with the Angels Oracle for decades. Only this year has the angel say, well, what would that angel do? What would that angel do for you? It would bring you everything that you need. Now, you're going to get everything you need anyway. But perhaps as a student, it's going to drop books in your lap. It's done it to me, right? It's going to whisper YouTube things like, here, watch this all the time. You have no idea how many times the angels have said to me, power of now. Eckhart Tolle, power of now. I'm like, oh, really? Because I'll be in this tortured emotional place, whatever, and I'll listen to the audiobooks. I already have it, and I'll be like, it's exactly what I needed to hear, right? So invoke, call, pray to, share space with, merge with, channel, whatever it is that you do or in tandem with the angels of spiritual growth, not just the learning part of it, but maybe indeed the growing pains that come with that, like unraveling codependency. You have to remember it's an ancestral pattern. Our ancient ancestors, I don't know, back in maybe the 40s, right? Codependence, I don't think was a term until the last, maybe mid-century, last century, right? Where did that, I have to look that up. Who coined the word codependence? because certainly the colonizing of America was more important than what your dreams were, right? The threshing of the wheat, right? This time of year, right? The raising of the family, the keeping the tribe safe, just so much more important than whatever your personal heart's desire might have. So push that stuff down, right? That was called survival. Now we've got a lot of those needs taken care of. It's time for our heart's desires to manifest as part of a larger plan. So how about this? How about I pop up the larger picture and we'll see what other pieces I see here. Take a nice deep breath. Magic clap. Again, we've got the student archetype here in the shadow: arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into power. So if you are the spiritual student here and you're learning this stuff, you're getting the opportunity to put this into action with that unraveling codependence. The light attribute: humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning, and to keep that stance of saying, I am learning here. I have said to people plenty of times, hey, I am doing the best that I can. This is a learning curve for me and everyone. You don't like the way I'm doing it? Hey, I'm doing the best that I can. I am learning. We all are. It's a very solid stance to take that allows you to be open and humble, knowing that you don't know, right? And with that unraveling codependence, only I have to feel good about my choices, which does kind of show you've got this fire inside of you, this 8 of flames, usually about fast communication, because those wands are usually flying. This is a different artist depiction here, burnout. That's why I'm getting more of that fast-moving fire transforming you from the inside out, which would make sense. The alchemical part of that, but also things that you want, passions, inspirations, kind of zipping around through you. But I kind of get, if you are the Queen of Cups here, if that represents you on the outside, that you're keeping a lid on it. And maybe you have to if there is codependent wounds that you are dealing with within yourself or others in any situation. You know, romantic work, family, friends, you know, sometimes when you, well, it's that idea of the crab, right? The crab trying to crawl out of the crab basket and the other crab's dragging it back down into the pot. That's what it is, right? The crab trying to crawl out of the pot and the other crab's trying to drag that one back down. It's like, how dare you heal? How dare you evolve? How dare you walk a spiritual path? The rest of us here are in the shadows. Well, watch. That's how I dare. Watch this. And I get that with that card of manipulation there, right? Nobody likes to be manipulated, so sometimes it takes us a while to even acknowledge it. Like, we don't want to really see that people are manipulating us, and I get, if this Queen of Cups is somebody you are dealing with, that there is subtlety there. Now, do I feel like this is magical or psychic manipulation? Yeah, maybe in 1% of the collective I'm feeling here. No, this feels more like that passive-aggressive stuff, right? Certain looks, right? Nothing that overt that you could call them on, just a feeling that you are getting. And remember, you are a Cancerian, a water sign, so leaning towards the empathy there. So the higher self is saying, look, focus on love. Look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life to maybe get, yeah, this is a good person. They're just hurt, right? And it's like they're manipulating me because they're not getting what they want, either from me or somewhere else in their life. A lot of time manipulation is about overcompensation, right? Dissatisfied in one area of your life you can't do anything about, so let me manipulate the crap out of this one that I can, particularly with other people when there is a loss of power over others, even covertly and subtly. Well, they just said to me in my head, so to speak, a clairaudient thing here, that most narcissists weren't so much abused, they were neglected, right? So there is some pain in there, and to look beyond that, to the good attributes in each and every person in your life for your own spiritual growth, so that you get, look, only I have to feel good about my choices. And this is not something that you need to do all at once. This is a waning moon, but I kind of get the feeling that this is clearing you out and preparing you for a new kind of love coming into your life, right? Focus on love, but a more spiritual love that you may be experiencing sort of eyedropperfuls here and there, but as we get to that new moon in Libra, this could absolutely start as a new foundational beginning for you to experience more of that high emotional healing and blessing in terms of being filled with light and the love of the divine, rather than the control and manipulation, passive aggression of others. Well, that was certainly more than we were expecting, wasn't it, Cancerian? But there you have it. May the Cancerian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need. This full moon to new moon next October 2020, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may unravel codependence, grasp and experience their spiritual growth, focusing on love and undoing some of this manipulation as the student archetype for their well-being, for the well-being of all concerned here, and for the well-being of all of us intertwined in unity consciousness. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you for watching. Again, please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to help me out on my YouTube journey. Otherwise, wishing you the very best and the very blessed for this full moon to new moon next. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.